Today, we're going to have a look at the new commercial for DeLonghi with Brad Pitt in it, which is a really weird commercial. Like, it's really weird. I know I don't usually do React-style videos, but when you have a company this big partnering with a movie star that big to say something about coffee, to communicate something about coffee, I think that's kind of interesting. Now, as you look at the commercial, we're going to watch it in a second, you can see just a big old blue anamorphic lens flare. This video was directed by Damien Chazelle, who directed La La Land, and his kind of primary cinematographer is a guy called Linus Sandgren, who is a Swedish guy, and he's also in this too. And I think the music is done by the guy that composed for La La Land, a guy called Justin Horowitz. So a kind of dream team who also just happened to be making a movie called Babylon with Brad Pitt right now. So an element of convenience here, I guess, maybe. They're all kind of hanging out together. Why not spend a day and make a commercial for a bean-to-cup coffee machine? That seems normal. Now, it's a pretty short commercial. It's like 60 seconds long. I'm going to interrupt it a ton. I apologize for that because a lot of it just asks more questions than I have answers for. You know what I mean? There's a lot of weird stuff to me in this commercial. Now, some of it's a bit nitpicky. I'm not going to get all CinemaSins about this, but some stuff in here bothers me from a kind of continuity perspective. Anyway, let's start watching it. It'll make more sense. Now, I kind of feel like the whole like motorcycle coffee thing, that particular trope, is a little tired. Like we did the whole like guys who are really into motorbikes being really into coffee and beards and that kind of thing. I feel like that particular trope within coffee, I'm not saying you can't enjoy coffee if you like a motorcycle. I'm just saying that trope is kind of done. And it's kind of interesting that this is more about like a Brad Pitt slice of life. This is how Brad lives his day, and he wants you to know he rides a motorbike very well, casually. So you can, just one hand. Now, straight into the coffee bit, which is very exciting for me. He's buying some coffee beans into a delightful craft paper bag. You know what I mean? He's having a little artisan experience. He's like, no, just give me some weird American weight of coffee, half a kilo for the rest of us. But this, for me, brings us to one of the great bizarre decisions of this commercial. So he gets his coffee and he puts it down, and this is just weird, right? Yes, if you go to Starbucks and you order a drink, they might ask your name and they'd put your name on the cup and then write underneath what your order is, because they're busy and they want to make sure you get the right drink and you can't just look at a cup and know what it is. So for some reason, the guy has written Brad's name on the bag of coffee. There's no one else here. There's no one else in the line. There's not a busy place. He's just written Brad's name, which in the world of celebrities, they're not always super into that. You know what I mean? They're not into like, oh, hi, Brad. We're friends now because you buy coffee from me. That's not always the vibe. Sometimes the vibe, but not always the vibe. What I love even more than writing his name on it for no good reason whatsoever is what he's written underneath. Now, it's hard to see in the video what he's written. Thankfully, all of the kind of images for the websites and that kind of stuff, well, they've photoshopped it to make it very clear. It says fresh coffee beans. Someone thinks someone else is an idiot. Now, it could be that the guy behind the bar thinks Brad's an idiot, and he might take this unmarked brown paper bag and be genuinely confused about what's inside, despite the fact that he went and bought it, because fresh coffee beans is not useful information. Is it? It's not what the coffee is. It's not like House Espresso or like a nice Kenyan coffee or some estate name. It's just fresh coffee beans. You would never write that on the side of a bag of coffee. Never, ever. It's like you'd write cup of coffee on the side of a cup of coffee. You just wouldn't do it. It might be more likely that they think you, the audience, is an idiot and you wouldn't know what this was. Despite the fact that you watched the coffee beans go in the bag, you'd still be confused by what this brown paper bag that Brad has bought is full of. It's just a really lazy, weird decision that kind of should be a singular moment that just goes away, right? Like they made a one decision and it goes away, but it doesn't go away. It gets even weirder. Brad's very happy. Now, William Bradley Pitt, your net worth is like $300 million. I'm confident that you can afford a bag that fits your bag of coffee inside it, and that it doesn't leave the bit with your name sticking out the back. What are you doing? You could have just put it in a different way. What else is in your bag? Because you don't go and buy pastries, and as one of cinema's greatest eaters, I'm kind of disappointed that you don't eat anything in this commercial with your coffee, but that's beside the point. Why has he got the top of the bag stuck out of his bag as he rides away? Now, this scene is the most confusing to me by far. What exactly is happening here? It looks like Brad has gone to sit bored, full of ennui, in a kind of regal pose. And what's kind of more upsetting to me is that the guy working on the motorbike is drinking a cup of coffee. Brad is not. Brad, passive-aggressively, has left his bag of coffee poking out of his bag as if to say, oh no, I like coffee, I just don't like your coffee. I mean, there are mugs behind him, just left kind of casually lying around, but on the table next to him where he would have a cup of coffee, no, his bag, pride of place, look at this, look at my bag of beans. For me, I don't want your filth, it's not from a DeLonghi. But even just the vibe of like, Brad spends his day in the corner of a shop watching a dude work on his bike for him while looking kind of bored, that's just like a really weird scene. I just don't understand why this is there. There's no down-to-earth Brad here. There's no, hey, I'm a normal guy, Brad. It's a, I'm going to watch you work on my motorbike and I'm going to be bored by it. This is back on the bike. This kind of bothers me because what time of day is this? Now, this is California and conveniently the west coast of America. We know where the water is in terms of, directions. And we know that the sun over the water, as we regularly see here, means that the sun is setting. It's the evening time. It's kind of constantly the evening time, except it's not, which bothers me. So this particular shot, it's nearly evening. The sun's relatively high, but coming down. But that seems to change just randomly all the time. And shout out to the colorist who had to work, I suspect, very hard to make this vaguely coherent throughout. Anyway, Brad is off, again, for no reason, to pump some gas. Now, again, this scene maybe suggests that Brad is an everyman. Brad pumps his own gas. Brad has some gloves that he really wants you to see. But more than that, they pull focus onto the bag with his name on it. Again, they're like, look, he's still got the coffee. He's still carrying it around unnecessarily in a bag that it could clearly fit comfortably inside. He has left it poking out so that people around the gas station, they know it's Brad, as if they couldn't tell who this handsome man is. Why is this shot there? Anyway. So Brad, he's got his gas, he very casually rides home. Sun quite low, very long shadows, except when he gets home, it's now kind of the middle of the afternoon again. What time is it? Now this is great. Gets his bag out. They couldn't get a shot. They couldn't get a shot where the beans don't just kind of bounce out in pieces and make a mess on his counter. I think that's kind of amazing. They just didn't care or couldn't be bothered. They were like, nah, one shot, pour the beans in, bits can go everywhere. The best news here is that Brad makes, I think, a good decision. He goes for the cappuccino mix. Now, you and me, we've probably never ordered a cappuccino mix because we've never had a machine like this. A cappuccino mix just means that the kind of coffee goes in first and the milk on top, and so they're mixed together. You'll see, I think later in this commercial, you can go the other way around with these machines and have like the layered latte macchiato type thing if you want to do that, but the connoisseur's choice is to have the fully mixed beverage, and that's what Brad goes for. I do enjoy that this is his face of anticipation. Kind of mild confusion or disgust. I don't quite know what it is. He looks unsettled by what's happening. He doesn't look appetized, but that'll happen in a minute, I guess. And so Brad gets his cappuccino. Lordy, he's a vascular man, and he has an evening cappuccino, which apparently is best described by DeLonghi themselves as perfetto. So there we have, you can see like a little espresso, a little latte macchiato, and Brad's apparently still full bag of fresh coffee beans. Fresh coffee beans. They're so proud of that. It's on all the kind of images on the website and stuff. Super, super weird. And that's Brad Pitt's coffee commercial. I don't understand it. I know that the very top line here is like, Brad Pitt, he's Brad Pitt, and he has a DeLonghi, so you should get a DeLonghi. I get that. That's kind of the big message of the ad. I get that. But the way that they've done it, to me, just makes no sense. I find it a really confusing set of decisions, and I'm aware, saying this publicly to you, maybe some of you see these decisions and are like, no, that makes total sense. Of course they would write fresh coffee beans, because no shop ever has done that ever in the history of ever. No, they would totally write that. It makes no sense. This is not a slight against DeLonghi, I should say. I've never used this machine, but I have no idea. I'm not judging the quality of coffee here. I'm not judging the machine. I'm just saying that Damien Chazelle and Brad Pitt made a super weird commercial for a coffee machine, and I don't understand it. And now I'd like to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this commercial? Are you seeing something I'm not? Am I just missing the point? Is it all just like a vibe? It's just golden hour. It's just kind of Brad on a bike. He's having coffee. Life is good. What is happening? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. But for now, I'll say thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.